Hello, everybody on YouTube. This is Robert with RC1 Mobile RV Services here, and I'm going to do a demonstration. I'm going to show you what happened to my RV that I live in full time. I bought it back in 2019 around Thanksgiving, literally Thanksgiving, the week before Thanksgiving. I bought my rig. It's a 2020 Grand Design 260 RB. So I bought it brand new and never had any really problems with water leaking. I mean, I had a couple of times where the wind blew a certain way or heavy rain and I got a little water in a couple of places, like the air conditioner and one place by my door, but it never returned. So I didn't think much of it, thought it was an isolated incident. But as I semi-annually clean my roof, I started noticing about a year and a half ago soft spots around my air conditioner. I've been monitoring it and getting worse, gradually getting worse. And then I realized about 6 months, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, I said, I'm going to have to do it in the wintertime. So when it's nice and cool out. So today is the day. It's a beautiful sunny day. The weather is great. It's in the 60s. It's going to be a high around 75 maybe. So it's a perfect day to do it. So I am going to do it today. And this is the ceiling where my air conditioner is located, right in the center of the RV. It is ducted. It runs ductwork forward and back. To the back is the bathroom. To the front is my bedroom.
First thing I need to do is take these filter covers off and then remove the filters to expose the screws so I can take off the cover. So these filters are a little bit tricky. You might use a butter knife or maybe a plastic scraper to get on the edge. If you got some strong fingernails, that'll work too. Once the filters are out of the way, you can see these screws right here. There's 4 of them. Take those screws out and that plastic cover will drop down. Then you'll be exposed to the plenum that directs the airflow. You got intake on either side and exhaust on the other side. Here's the intake, and you take off 4 screws to remove this plenum. Here's a good example of over-tightening screws through plastic. This was from the factory. They over-tightened the screws, and it went right through the plastic. So always be aware when you're tightening screws through plastic. Don't over-tighten them. And after you remove the 4 screws to remove that plenum piece of plastic, we can take a closer look of what's above it. Once I remove the plastic, you can see the insulation that divides the intake and the exhaust. The intake's on the left, the exhaust is on the right. All right, here I am removing that insulation so it won't get in the way when we're removing the air conditioner. And there's just one more thing we need to do before we can remove the air conditioner off the roof. There's 4 bolts on each corner of this frame that are holding the air conditioner to the roof. This is a really great method of holding the air conditioner on the roof without puncturing the roof membrane. Here are the 4 bolts that hold the air conditioner to the roof. Now we're free to remove the air conditioner. And here's the roof opening without the frame around it. Now we can go on the roof and pull the air conditioner off.
Okay, here I am standing on my ladder. So this is not going to be a small job. It's going to be, I would say, fairly decent size. Not humongous, but something that I don't recommend most RV owners to do. I have a background in carpentry and roofing construction, so this is not a big deal to me, but it's something I don't want to do, but I got to do. So like I said, I clean my roof periodically and it needs to be cleaned. It's not horrible because I do stay on top of it, but I did come up here one morning or one day when it was raining and I wiped this area to get most of the big stuff off. This is the area we're going to have to cut it back from here down all the way to the edge. So I'm going to do, not 100% sure exactly what the shape's going to be, but it's going to be around the side and then up around the front because that's where it's rotten. So where is it leaking? It's coming from the air conditioner seal. That's all I can see. I don't know where the water's getting in. If it's condensation water, could be, or rainwater. But we shall take it apart and seal it. In my situation, you can see where the trusses are. If you see where the tip of my finger is, you'll see like a crest or a ridge right there. Goes right along here. And if we continue, you can see it again here. So what I'm assuming is one sheet of whatever they have, OSB or plywood. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know what it is. I'm gonna get my tape measure and measure, but generally it's 2 feet increments, the trusses. So if you step in 2 foot increments, it feels strong. But if you go in between, it's a little flexing, it flexes. So just a word for thought, when you're walking on the roof, kind of take bigger steps and you'll hit the trusses. Same thing here, you can see the raised area. And this is the Max Air fan I put in before in a previous video. Holding up fine, looks great. So I'm gonna remove the air conditioner now. All right, always wear gloves, protect your hands from scrapes, scratches, and punctures. Even the minor stuff can really be annoying when you puncture. I've had really fine punctures, and it's annoying to have your fingers in pain a little bit trying to do your job. So always wear gloves, and it does give you just a little bit of protection against electrical shock because it is rubber, so the rubber insulates really well. So on this Coleman Mach, we got 4 Phillips head screws. Make sure you use the big screw head because these are very big. And you don't want to strip these out. These are stainless. So let's make sure we're going the correct direction. And use some pressure right at the beginning so you don't start spinning. And I already cleaned my air conditioner once and it needs to be cleaned now. But spray lube in these threads so the screws will come back out easy the next time. Because this is getting, you know, water all the time. So you want to spray some corrosion resistant lubricant so you can get the screws in and out easy and not strip them out. Because stripping them out is not fun because you can't get them out. Ooh, that one was loose. That one was loose. No, that's it to take the main cover off. And you want to be aware of the possibility of wasps, lizards, snakes, frogs, whatever. Yep, there's a dead frog in here. There is a dead frog in here. And there he is. All right. I don't like that. Looks like that's gonna let air in and out. So I'm gonna have to reapply some dum-dum. What do you call it? The sealer for the roof. Just wrap it around there. Because that's the duct work right here. All right, in order to look inside where the wiring goes to see if we're gonna have to disconnect the wires, we got to take this off because everything comes up through the ceiling. So we may have to disconnect the AC power, and the DC should unplug. Should be simple unplug. So let's go. And you always be careful when you're taking this off, because if you have a heat pump, the wires are not gonna give you enough play. So I always do this, peek in there, see if there's play in the wires before I go pulling this all the way off. All right, here you see the main components for the control board right here. So here you have the plug and play. So if we're gonna replace this unit, we keep this, as long as this is not functioning fine, we keep this, we unplug here and pull this out and take the whole unit off, and you don't even have to disconnect the DC because it's connected into this control board, so there's no hard wiring or disconnecting. Now you got to pull out your freeze sensor out of your coils, but other than that, I'm going to usually that's sealed pretty good or glued here with sometimes from being so long it's stuck. In this case, the seal from underneath right here is stuck to it. So it's stuck there. So I had a little bit of pressure, I could separate it. And then this whole panel can come loose. But it's part of the air conditioner for what we're doing. We're not replacing the air conditioner. So see all this slack here? We may be able to just shimmy the air conditioner over a little bit and do the work. We'll see. I'll give it a shot. Hey, one thing I recommend to have if you're gonna do handyman work or work on your RV is one of these mats. It's like a yoga mat. You can use a yoga mat, or I bought this at Harbor Freight. It's a little soft pad that's about 3/8 inch thick, and it's good for kneeling on and also good for putting things on that might damage the roof. So that's what we're doing here. I'm gonna put it right here. I already previously pulled this unit loose once before, and then earlier in the week I made sure it was already loose, so I kind of broke the seal. Usually, as long as nobody's used any kind of lap sealant, it should pry up and come up fairly quickly and easy. But some you need more force. Like I said, I prepped this one before, loosened it up, so it's already loose. So I'm gonna try to lift it up and shimmy it this direction. And I'm checking the wires, make sure we're not getting any tension here, because there's several wires. Looks like we got enough play, but we shall see. Got to be ginger here. I pulled by the bottom tray because this is held together by screws, and now that we remove some for this piece of ductwork, it's flimsy. All right. It looks like I'm going to disconnect the control board from the ductwork, from the shroud, and that'll even give me even more play to do this. So I'm going to do that. Just 2 more screws here. I don't know if you can see it, but this control panel in a plastic container that is screwed to the shroud here. So I'm going to back these screws out, see if I can do that. To show you what I did, this was screwed into these screws with these little brackets. This comes loose now. That's the main umbilical. That's the total umbilical to the air conditioner. So it gives me more slack to see. We're gonna run out here in about 6 inches. So I think that's plenty. Another 6 to 8 inches should be good. Even 12, we'll take it. And that'll give me enough opening to get to the rotten wood area. So we'll continue. Check. I'm gonna remove the staples because where this is folded down, it's stapled down in here. So I'm gonna remove these staples here, and this is rotted. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it, but it's rotted there. So it looks like we'll be able to get enough by just going right to the edge of this opening and going to the truss. This is I'm gonna have to clean up. It's dirty under there. All right, so I'm gonna start removing staples. Oh, I see some holes right here. Here's the problem. Oh man, I gotta show you this. I never saw this before. These are perfect little circles. Where do these circles come from? I don't know if it's an insect. Wow, it's right on the edge. I see it, man. That's the leak. That's the leak spot right there. I don't know if that's from an insect, because it's perfectly round. It looks like a drill bit almost. These tiny little holes. I'm gonna have to show that to Grand Design. Wow. I've never seen that before. Of course, I'm a new tech, so I don't see a bunch of everything. A lot of things are new to me. Wow. right, I gotta get the camera and show you this. All right, these are the little holes I'm telling you about. I have never seen anything like it. It's right where the gasket ends. It's almost like it could be a beetle was trying to go to the RV AC unit, hit the wall, and drill the hole. But it's perfectly circular. It's like a drill bit. Here's a couple more. Look at that. Looks like another one under the gasket there. Wow. And if we keep going, there's another one over here. Right there. And then there's another one right there. Wow. So anyway, here's the opening, and I'm gonna cut, like I said, cut from the edge of the opening to the next truss, which is right here. Clean this up. And do the same on this one. Follow the down to the edge and flip the whole thing back. Because it's rotted all the way down. Now I cleaned the area and dried it. So when we go to put it back together, we'll have a clean seal. It doesn't start getting soft till right there. Right there. So I'm gonna go to here, cut it out to the past the truss, almost to the skylight. We're gonna stay back from the skylight about 4 inches, 3 inches, because here's the truss. So we want to go a little bit past, give enough room to run the skill saw down this truss. So we'll cut the roof this way, cut the roof down that way. That way we don't have to do all this detaching down here. Because to do it right, we're going to come up here, you have to remove all this trim here. So we're just going to fold it this way, lay it over to the side, do our woodwork, and flap it back. So, let me show you the cutting. Utility knife. And this is the truss. So like I said, we're gonna go a few inches, at least 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches beyond the truss. I'm gonna go right here, not so far on this side. And there's our truss right there, a couple of inches past. And go straight down. This doesn't have to be perfect. You just don't want to go off course too much. All the way to the edge. We're going to stop right there. So same thing on this side. You may want to measure or use a straight edge. Perfectly good. All right, we're at the truss, a little bit past it. There. Similar to linoleum. It's glued down like linoleum. Look at all that water. Yep, so it's OSB. And there's the joint. We won't even have to cut it, right? I'll have to cut it this way, but not this way. Because look, they got some fabric right on the joint. How nice. Looks brand new, right? Because it is. Well, it's never been exposed to air until this silly leak. Yeah, look at that water went right all the way to the joint. Actually, see all that? It was going that way too. This is just separated. So I'll probably peel that back and hopefully dry this, get this dry. Leave it uncovered and air dry it as much as possible. Tuck this in there. I mean, I could go a little farther, but I think that's gonna be fine. As long as I get it dry. There we go. All the way to the edge. I like what Grand Design did here. like fabric here that ties the wood to the edge.
And what I was referring to is I like that tape that runs over from the sidewall onto the roof deck. It kind of smoothed out that transition from the square edge of the lumber, the deck. And then also you see that fabric material over the joint of two sheathing parts. I really like that. It kind of smoothed that transition out too. But I'm not a big fan of OSB decking. When the roofing is on it, you can see all the OSB kind of looks really rough, and I don't really like it. It doesn't make it a bad roof, but it just doesn't look cool. It doesn't look sleek. But other than that, I think Grand Design does go the extra mile on a lot of things that people don't notice. Even the corners of the RV, I've done some service work on RVs that wrap around a corner. They definitely do good wrappings to where it's not like a joint and it's nothing to seal the joint. They definitely put double ply on the corners, which is a really good thing.
Sweet. So we can reuse this. Nothing wrong with this fabric. Yeah, we can reuse this when we put the roof back. Save that.
Next up is removing the fasteners that hold the roof decking down. And another thing, you can give some kudos to Grand Design. They use screws. Not everybody does. Most that I've done service on have used screws. I have ran across one brand that does not. They use nails. So that was not as good as screws. So I have to unscrew all the fasteners so I can remove the decking. Next up is drawing straight lines to cut along to remove the rotted wood. So I do each side with this straight edge. This is some straight plywood that I have on hand. You can use a chalk line. You can use a straight edge, level, anything to draw a straight line. I came across this cool little cutting tool that Ryobi makes. It's kind of like a glorified rotary tool, but it's kind of set up, configured like a skill saw. So I use this all-purpose blade. It doesn't have any teeth in it. It's more like almost like a grinder blade, an abrasive blade, and it cuts the wood fine. It's good for small jobs, and that's why I bought it. So I have to drag an electrical cord on the roof with a big old skill saw. So it's nice. And as you can see, I took the piece of lumber that I had and covered up the opening of the hole so all the sawdust doesn't go down in the RV. And in case I drop something too, it'll keep anything from falling down in the hole into the RV.
Now there's nothing between you and falling through the ceiling. So be advised, there's nothing here but insulation. This R reflective foil. You're gonna go through the paneling and destroy your roof, so don't walk here. I know, nobody's dumb enough to do that, right? Well, people forget, right? As a lifetime roofer, I've never went through a ceiling. I've had employees go through the ceiling. All right, here we stand. The wood has been replaced. I'm gonna show you in a second, but before I show you that, I wanted to show you this. This is the biggest patch I've ever done on any RV. I've only done 2 wood replacement jobs. This is my 3rd one. The patches were smaller, but the one thing I did have in the past on one of them was they stretched this membrane. So you can see this membrane is supposed to be here, and now you see the gap there. So you have to keep that in mind before you start applying the roof, because it needs to stretch. So I'm gonna do my best to stretch it when I'm ready. Not gonna be easy. So this is all brand new to me, so we're gonna do it together, and I'm gonna show you the wood that has been replaced. There you go. This is the brand new wood. As you can see, I'm standing on it. And actually, this new wood is a little stronger than the wood that exists. So it's not bad at all. So I'm not going to reinforce it. I'm going to put roofing membrane here, glue. So that glue between here with the roofing membrane is going to give it a little more strength. Then I'm going to put an Eternal Bond strip over top of this seam. And that'll even help it even more. So I wanted to show you this and that gap mainly before I start putting down the adhesive. And I cleaned the back side of the roof membrane. I cleaned up the loose stuff. You could clean it more, but this is just how I cleaned it. Do your thing, I do my thing. So this is going to be an adventure, big time adventure for me, because again, I've never done one this big, and we shall see how it goes. So I'll show you what I bought. I bought this roofing adhesive, but you need to buy what's compatible with your roof. I bought this acrylic water-based adhesive, so for RV roofing, and I bought a little notch trowel to apply it. So this is going to be, like I said, a first-time gig here. We'll see how it goes and do the best I can. Again, you do it your way, I do it the way. This is just the way I'm doing it right now because I've never done it before. When I took my RV training, we didn't install a roof. And if we did, we'd be installing the whole thing. So the whole sheet would come down and then you just cut holes and all that. I saw that on some videos that we did from the RV training. But we never installed the whole roof. So I'm a roofing contractor in the past, but it's different on the RV. So we're gonna install this and see how it goes. Good luck to me, right? And then here. All right, Nick. I don't know how this is going to work. I want to be over there, actually. This is where I want to be. So pull on it, stretch it. Oh yeah, it's sticking. And all you professionals out there can tell me how bad I did this. So now I'm gonna get the Eternal Bond. All right, here's the tape I'm gonna use. It's called Eternal Bond. I've been saying Eternal Bond, but it's Eternal Bond roof leak repair tape. Really good stuff, expensive. I think I paid $50 for this or $60 on Amazon, but it works great. And I use it in conjunction with lap sealant. Some people don't. You may not have to, but I do as a precautionary. All right, so we need a piece of Eternal tape. I don't know if this is long enough to go all the way here. Yeah, it is. It is long enough. Yay. So I'm gonna take it all the way over the edge to the trim. And I'm not using gloves because this stuff is so sticky, it'll stick to your gloves. And this stuff is super sticky. So be extra, extra careful. Some people use a seam roller. You can use a seam roller on this. I'm using my hand, as you can see. All right, that looks good. If if I may say so myself. I may because I'm here. So you don't have to see all this. You saw what I was doing. I'm gonna do a eternal bond around all this. That's enough videotaping. All right, there it is. For the eternal bond is installed. I put some again around the opening because of those holes. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slide the air conditioner on the other side so I can do this last side with a little eternal bond. Clean it first, then put the eternal bond on it. So we'll be back after I move the air conditioner. All right, I got all the eternal bond tape on. And now I'm going to add some Dicor lap sealant to where the air conditioner is going to lay, and it'll cover it up so I can't do it later. I don't want to do it all at once because I'm still going to be moving around in this area, so I don't want to step in what I just installed as far as this lap cement goes. So I'm going to install the lap cement where the air conditioner is going to cover it. This is my trusty Ryobi power caulking gun, which I love, absolutely love this thing. Works great. You can spin this around depending on your tip. You can change speeds. You can pull this in or out. It retracts when you should let off the trigger so it doesn't keep squirting out, as you can see. Very nice caulk gun.
All right, I put the AC unit over the opening, went inside and looked and make sure that it was centered over the opening, and now I'm going to put it back together on the roof.
I want to cover this little hole here with some Dicor. No science to this. Ramming it in there. Try to block any airflow here. That's it. That was that. Now you could add more tape along all this. Some guys do, so you can do that. There definitely is some seepage and leakage in some of these areas. Let's put the cover back on it. We're done up here, except I want to run some Dicor, self-leveling Dicor all around. So before I do that, let me put the cover on the air conditioner, and we'll be done with the air conditioner. There we go. That's that. All right, here we are with the completed job. And with all the Dicor installed, the eternal bond installed with a little extra Dicor, and a little spot on my skylight was exposed to flange, and actually a couple of spots I went ahead and touched up. There was another skylight back here. It looked like there was a little crack in the Dicor, so I added a little there. So there you go. Now we're going to go inside and finish the install on the inside. All right, now we are inside, and I'm here to check to make sure that we are centered and the gasket is not hanging over the edge of the opening. So I don't know if you can see it. There is the roofing material right here. Let me move right there. There's the roofing material. So this is the opening, and that gray area here is the gasket for the air conditioner on the bottom side. So just making sure we're not hanging over this way too much or hanging over that way too much. So it looks good. Everything's centered, and I already put these screws in. There's only 4 screws that go into the bottom of the air conditioner. So that's it right there. You see that hole right there where this long threaded screw goes into? It's a bolt basically, and there's 4 of them. So I already installed them. Pretty straightforward. 4 simple screws. You can see on the top, the screw protrudes through the frame of the air conditioner all the way up here. I know it's hard to get the light right there. You can see the screw comes out the other side. That's the control board. And here's all the wires coming out of the RV going to the air conditioner. So we are centered. I did not put any sealant on that gasket. I just attached it, screwed it down, and give it even tension between all 4 screws. And now we are sealed, and gravity will pull the water away from the air conditioner. And I put a screw back in right here to hold this duct in place. This was moving around because I had to take it loose. It went through the roofing material, so I had to take it loose to pull the roofing material off. So it's installed. So now I got to install the inside area to distribute the air, to divide the intake and the exhaust from each other. So we're going to do that now. Start installing the plenum divider and the finished product here. All right, here's my divider that divides the intake and exhaust. So we're going to put that back up in there. And it's a couple ways you can do it. You can put it at an angle first and then pivot it in. That's one way to do it. You can try to slide it straight up and in. Either way, you want to make sure you got airtight seal on all 3 sides here. So again, you're not covering this duct area. We're going between the opening here and this area here, giving free flow from here into the duct, or free flow down here and none going there. We want this tight here, so no air goes that way. All right, here is our next piece that goes in, and it's pretty easy to determine how it goes. See that groove right there? That groove goes right where the divider is up in the ceiling to divide the 2 sections. So like this. So it's pretty straightforward. It's going to go on like that. So I'm going to need 2 hands to do that. It is installed, and the things you want to make sure is that this divider goes into the groove in this plastic piece. So that's pretty important. You got to make sure the divider goes in the groove on both sides. Next up is the final panel to which you attach the filters to. It goes right up in here. So pretty straightforward. 4 screw holes right there. Line it up, install it, and screw it in. There it is installed. Next up is the filters. There we go. Install the grate covers over both sides and you're done. All right, we're all done. The air conditioner's running, doing what it's supposed to do. All right, there you have it. All completed. Hope you enjoyed this content. If you got any value from this content, please give me a thumbs up. Leave your comments, what I did wrong, what you liked about what I did, and what you didn't like. Either way, I'm not a veteran of years and years of RV repairs. I'm a new RV tech that started about 3 years ago doing it part-time. So I have so much more to learn, but I hope you got some value from this video, and I appreciate you watching. Again, share this video with a friend. It'll help my algorithm. More views, the better it is. And I hope you enjoyed this content and learned something. Thanks for watching RC1 Mobile RV Services. We'll see you on the next one.